Oh no. Okay. All right. Hi, I'm Libby Gibson, Town Manager. Welcome to What's Going On in Town Government. I almost had another laughing fit. I don't even know why, because I am not even in a good mood today. It is so, my day,
What?
I don't even know what to say. It's so crazy. I try to reserve Fridays for an admin day, so I can clean up my desk, which just don't even look at it, please, because it's a mess, and just get things done from the week. And I haven't even been able to do that yet at all. It's 10:15. People just, they come in and my day goes to
What do you mean admin?
trash.
Is that just
Administration. An administration day. So I can just focus on
the paperwork?
the
stuff?
paperwork.
Like
The
that.
paperwork. Exactly.
Yeah.
The follow-up, the email, the voicemail, the stuff.
Sure.
Anyway, okay. So at our board meeting this week, we had a, this is last week's agenda. I don't even remember what we did this week. What did we do? Oh, I don't even know what I did with my agenda from last
Really?
week. Okay, here's what we did. We had, our big thing was, we had an update about the storm. You know, the big storm.
Yeah.
Boy, was Friday different a week ago.
Whoa.
Anyway, we had an update from our emergency management coordinator, Jay Franzuto, and we talked about how everything went. We dodged a bullet, I think. There is some infrastructure damage of the town. The town pier is not in good shape at all. It's actually closed right now. We're in the process of getting an engineer's evaluation of what needs to be done to that pier to get it open and workable for the summer. That's going to cost big money too, and we are not at all sure.
And thank God we have insurance.
Well, thank God we have insurance, but we're not even sure that's going to cover it. So all the applications are getting put together for insurance, FEMA reimbursements, all that kind of thing. So we're just hoping, but we're never. These are all reimbursements, so we're going to have to put up the money to get the work done. So anyway, that is underway. Obviously, if people have driven down Easy Street, they can see that there's a lot of damage to the sidewalk and the bulkhead there. That's going to all have to get fixed. It's in the process now. Unreal. A lot of flooding. I think there's probably flooding damage in homes in the Hobart area, Children's Beach area.
They were flooded.
Yep, they were flooded.
Up to the knees.
But interestingly enough, the power, from what I'm told, never went out down there. Except maybe the night before, when I think almost everybody had no power. There were a couple of outages for a short amount of time. So with that respect, I don't think anybody on the Cape was spared a power outage.
That's right.
Even yesterday, I was at Cape Cod Managers Meeting in Sandwich. Their school, as of yesterday, was still not open. They have some extensive damage in a couple of their schools from burst pipes, and they had a boiler fire somewhere, and still some people with no power. So thank God we had power for the most part.
We give a little credit to...
we should give some credit to National Grid.
Absolutely.
They were prepared. They brought trucks over here ahead of time.
And I think they actually wire this place a little stronger than most because we're out here in the ocean.
And in the underground cable and everything. Mm-hmm. So we really used to be Nantucket would not be the place you'd want to be during a storm, but it's almost different now.
Right. We just don't want to be here during a tsunami.
No, we don't.
No tsunami.
No tsunami. That would be really bad. So we got the update about the storm, and the other big thing on the agenda was we had an update about PLUS, Planning and Land Use Services. That's a consolidated Department of Health, Building, and HDC, and Planning and Zoning. And we had the planning director and the deputy director in talking about the efficiencies and the improvements that we're trying to work on. It's definitely a department in transition. There, as is almost always the case, when there's some change, there's some resistance in some different areas to change, but we're working on it and trying to just make it a better operation. So we talked about that. We talked about some customer services principles that the board adopted so that we can get going with more of a customer service program and training, which actually a couple of staff people had asked for. That was good. And the board had some, here's my agenda. See, my desk is such a mess. What else do we do? The board had a couple of various reports of theirs. Nantucket Community Sailing. That was a license renewal that had some discussion at last week's meeting, the week before, which There were some changes made to it based on some abutter input, and so that was all good. Next week, didn't even print out my agenda yet, we have our regular Wednesday meeting. We're getting a municipal health insurance update from our health insurance consultant. Our town council will be there, and our Blue Cross Blue Shield rep will be there, and we're going to be talking about rate increases, which are going to need to be done soon on the town side and on the employee side. More to follow on that. We're talking about our budget for the next fiscal year and looking out, and what impact the Health Insurance Reform Act has had on the town of Nantucket to date. We have a treasurer bond refunding item. We are supposed to be reviewing Human Services Contract Review Committee recommendations again. We did that 2 weeks ago. The board asked them to go back and review them another time because they had asked for $15,000 more than what is projected for Health and Human Services contracts for 14. The board said, please come back with it within the appropriation and let us know what that would look like. We have a noise bylaw waiver for an event in June. We have Jetty's Restaurant coming in. They were approved for a 1-year kind of a trial expansion of hours in the summer for the restaurant down there from closure at 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. This was the first year we tried that. So Marshall is coming in to request that be made permanent. I don't think we've gotten any complaints about it. We have a whole bunch of real estate stuff. We've got a number of public hearings. We have 3 public hearings for telephone petitions. We have an application for changing the premises at the Nantucket Yacht Club for their liquor license, a private aquaculture license for 4 acres for somebody to do, I think it's oyster farm thing, head of the harbor. We have a change of package store license for The Cellar, which, are they changing their name?
Did they change it? I think it was for sale, wasn't it?
Yeah, so they've sold it, I guess, and they're changing the name. We're also having a review of other post-employment benefits, also known as OPEB trust funds. We have one, but we have not put any money into it yet. And this is a discussion we've had several times recently at FinCom and at the Board of Selectmen's level, and the board wanted to get some more information about how they work. So we're going to have town council come in and talk about that. Town council is also going to be talking about adopting revised personnel policies, which we have ready to be adopted. They've been sent out for review. We haven't gotten a little bit of comment back. This is for non-union employees. We have an open meeting law complaint that was filed against us by the Taxi Association. So we are discussing our draft response to that. There's a procedure, very specific statutory procedure that's followed when somebody believes the open meeting law has been violated.
What does that mean?
Well, the taxi owners believe we violated the open meeting law in part because we scheduled a public hearing for taxi regulation changes before the board formally voted to have a public hearing. Actually, the board agreed to have a public hearing last fall. We didn't really need to go back to them to have it scheduled, so the staff scheduled it. We do it all the time. It's not really that big a deal, but they have an issue, so we'll talk about that.
They're just not happy about the meters? Is that kind of the bottom line?
That, in my personal opinion, that is the bottom line, but there was a meeting yesterday to discuss the bottom line, the underlying fares for the meter system, which was attended by, I guess, about 20 or so, I was not there, people. And according to Mr. DaCosta, who's one of the, there's like a kind of like a 3-member work group, he said it ended up being fairly productive. So they're having input. And,
when are we going to know what those fares are?
I think they're meeting in 1 or 2 more times, so soon. The board also wants to establish an advisory group there's some town land out by Public Harbor upon which Nantucket Community Sailing has been doing their operation, and it turns out there's a deed restriction on that property. When the land was given to the town, came with a restriction, and one of the items in the restriction specifies the formation of an advisory group that is supposed to review the activities on the land on a regular basis and some other things. But the deed restriction's been in place for like 30 years. We've never had this advisory group. So they said, all right, we need to have the advisory group. So they're going to formally establish it next week. Other things that are going on. So I mentioned I went to Cape Cod Managers meeting yesterday. It was in Sandwich. We had a lot of talk about the storm. We talked about some health insurance issues. and there was an update of regional wastewater planning efforts. That was actually, we're not so much involved in that, but it was interesting for me to hear what they're all doing over there. A lot of towns over there are working now on their comprehensive wastewater management plans. We've had a CWMP since 2004. We're in the process of updating ours now. So we're one of the first towns that actually had one,
So
which
they're
is
probably
great.
interested in what you have to say.
They were somewhat interested in that, but they've got a whole different situation over there. In any case, FinCom is meeting very actively on the town meeting warrant, budget articles. They're getting some motions done. They had a meeting yesterday, and they got a few more motions done. And other things are, storm follow-up is obviously ongoing. We're still doing some follow-up regarding the fire at the construction and demolition building out at the landfill last week. I need to clean up all the sticky notes and papers on my desk. I hope you can't really see.
No,
any
we
of
can't.
that.
Don't worry.
Okay.
It doesn't look that bad.
It doesn't? Okay, good. It's looked worse, that's for sure.
Oh.
And then the exciting news about Rhoda's dog,
Yeah.
Frasier.
Right.
So you have an interview
Yeah,
with
it's
her.
coming up. You bet. We'll
Okay.
check it out.
So yeah, Jeff, definitely check that out. That's an exciting local, local activity of note.
Yeah. Point
Yeah.
of interest.
Point of interest.
Yeah.
Very,
sure it is.
and it was a cool article in
Champion.
the paper.
It's a champion dog.
Yeah, he's got all these initials now.
Yeah.
He probably already had them.
I think he
Frasier.
did. I think he did, yeah.
Here's a picture of Frasier.
Oh, yeah.
Right here.
Yep, there he is.
This is from last year's Westminster Dog Show.
Right.
Isn't he cute?
That's the handler, I guess.
This is the handler, and this is
one of the
the
judges.
judge, I guess. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Very
Libby.
exciting.
By the way, I'm going to do a show about getting a flying lesson today.
You are?
Yeah.
You're getting a flying lesson
Yes.
today?
Yes. And it'll be a show about.
Who does flying lessons here?
Well, it's not actually. There may be a club that comes.
Oh, it's a
about.
private thing?
Yeah, but there may be the opportunity for people to learn how to fly.
Oh, that would be great, because there used to be.
There
but-
used to be. So we'll see.
So you're going up in a plane.
I'm going to
How are
actually
you?
take it off my. Well, we got all kinds of little cameras and stuff set up.
Okay, because I don't think we want you trying to film and fly at the same time.
Well, you know, I can drive and film at the same time.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that.
All right. I got you.
Well, you have a great time doing that. I
will.
look forward to hearing about it.
Yeah, well, you bet. It'll be fun.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, we are working very hard on getting my town manager website up. I'm hoping it's going to be up today, but it might be
That's
next week.
exciting.
It's very exciting. Maybe next time we have a show when it is up, we can take a quick
Absolutely,
tour
we will.
of it. Okay. Thanks very much. See you next time.